In studio with Nicholas RUSHWORTH for a look at what the world's newspapers are saying.
Hello to you, Claire, this Friday, and I'm going to start out with that crisis we're seeing unfolding in the Korean peninsula. And a lot of the papers in Korea are showing this photo on the front pages. It shows a US stealth bomber flying over a US airbase in South Korea. Now, that picture is actually on the front page of the Global Times, which is a Chinese paper. Now, what's happened is that when that stealth bomber flew over North Korea, then the president there put its rocket units on standby to attack US bases in South Korea and the Pacific. The Huffington Post is reporting there is an increased movement of vehicles and soldiers at mid- and long-range missile sites in North Korea. The Christian Science Monitor, meanwhile, spoke to an expert who says flying the stealth bomber in this way is not so much a provocation from the United States, but more what is described as subtle messaging, Claire. And you can't get perhaps a bit not so subtle for me, but the message actually to North Korea and China would be war can really happen and the US is not going to be deterred. It'll defend its allies, Claire.
Things definitely hotting up there, all right. And now to the Pope, who will be busy this Easter weekend. He's already been cleaning feet, Nicholas.
Well, he did that, didn't he, in Rome on Holy Thursday. He went to a prison and washed the feet of young offenders, about a dozen of them. 2 of them, in fact, were Muslim girls. Now, the paper, the Vatican Insider blog in the paper La Stampa, the Italian paper, quotes Pope Francis as saying that this feet washing helped him be a humble servant. By the way, that paper there, La Stampa and the Vatican Insider, is the place to go for Pope info. But in total contrast, I spotted this in the UK paper, The Independent. It has a cartoon which has none of this soap around the Pope. There you can see a picture of Pope Francis with his arms in the air, and he's saying, well, I don't know about their feet, but my hands have never looked so squeaky clean. And that, of course, a reference to all the scandals we've seen over the years in the Holy See.
Absolutely, the hunter there in the wash basin. So you've also been looking at Cyprus and the Eurozone saga that's continuing to unfold there.
Well, there's a great comment piece by the former Belgian Prime Minister, Guy Verhofstadt, in today's International Herald Tribune. And there he's asking, how can we avoid the next Cyprus? And he says, well, after Cyprus, we could see bank tremors in Malta or Latvia. What we're seeing is fragility on the periphery of the Eurozone. What's the solution, he argues? Well, a Euro banking union. That's the only way we can actually establish trust with EU citizens, which is what this whole crisis is about. At the end of that piece, he's saying, we face the disintegration of the Eurozone and the European Union as we know it if nothing is done.
And the question is then, is there a saviour? The US Weekly Time is asking exactly that.
Well, this just landed on the desk at the press review here at France 24. There you can see Time, and Christine Lagarde, no less, the IMF boss, is on the front page. Can this woman save Europe? And it's saying, well, she has a plan to prevent reckless banks from ruining the world economy, and that plan is a EU banking system, no less, so echoing Guy Verhofstadt there, Claire. And the piece there, you can see there, can this woman fix Europe? The piece says, well, yes, she really is pushing for this EU banking union, but the quote at the very end is, I would be lying to you if I said I was passionate about talking about this EU union, but it is very important. So, of course, there are brilliant opportunities to show fabulous photos of the lady herself, who, of course, as we all know, is outstanding.
Absolutely elegant. We have to give her that. Nicholas RUSHWORTH, thank you very much for bringing us through today's international press. Now, just ahead, a look at the day's business news, including it was the final straw for Gérard Depardieu. But what's different about this new version of the French tax on the super rich? Stephen Carroll from our business desk will have the details in just a moment, so do stay with us.
Is Paris losing its status as a financial hub? With the world of finance consolidating, France is seen to be losing ground as only a handful of cities emerge as global financial centres.
Don't miss Beyond Business. Today, 11:45 a.m. Paris time on France 24.